By far the most impressive Tesla feature is Autopilot. When you're on a highway without construction, Autopilot will completely steer and control your car. However, about every 3 minutes or so, you'll be asked to acknowledge your awareness by simply wiggling the steering wheel softly. Whenever your Tesla can detect 1 or 2 lines in the road, which it indicates by white lines on the dash, the Autopilot indicator will display, allowing you to engage it by double tapping on the cruise Autopilot stick on the left side of the steering wheel. 1 tap engages cruise control and 2 taps engage Autopilot. Then the road lines and the Autopilot indicator turn blue on the dashboard. The Tesla senses and displays the cars around it by using its front-facing radar. It can detect cars, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, and people. The Tesla detects closer items using ultrasound detectors, which displays yellow indicators completely around the car. By twisting the stick, you can adjust your following distance between 1 and 7 car lengths. The car lengths appear to adapt to your speed, so 3 car lengths at a high speed is greater than at lower speeds. Most of the time, Autopilot recognizes the lines in the road and uses them to steer. However, when it can't see them and there's a close car in front of you, it will use that car to steer, signified by turning the car it's following to blue on the dashboard. Here's an extreme example of Autopilot following a car in front of it while I exit a toll booth. It appears to assume the path is okay since the car has taken it. Autopilot works especially well in traffic jams on highways, and literally I don't mind getting into them anymore because I can get a lot of work done. Autopilot works in light or moderate rain if the road lines are still visible like this, but you can't engage it in a hard rain or in most snow conditions because the road lines usually get covered. Autopilot can change lanes by simply turning on your blinker. However, you must check that there are no cars in the lane you're turning into, like you normally would. It appears to sense a car right next to you and will not change lanes until the lane is empty. However, it does not appear to be able to detect a car coming up quickly behind you. My Tesla Model S has hardware 1, so it doesn't have the side and rear facing cameras. I suspect with hardware 2, Tesla should be able to sense cars behind you in your adjacent lane better over time. Each time you turn on the blinker, the Tesla will only change 1 lane. You need to turn it off and back on to change lanes again. The lane change feature doesn't currently work to take an exit ramp. Here I manually took over to take the exit. On highways with lights, the Tesla will come to a stop as long as there are cars in front of you, and then will automatically start up again as the cars start up. At this time, you need to manually stop at stop signs and at red lights if there are no cars in front of you. I'm confident that a future Tesla update will support stopping at stop signs and red lights. In my experience, Autopilot has been flawless on highways. However, you are allowed to engage it on local roads where it is very dangerous, and I don't recommend you using it. Here are some examples. Side, which is probably making this work a little better. Whoa, it overshot that turn pretty bad. I was over some train tracks, and it was going to just go into the side of the road there. So I had to take over. There's no surprise I can even put it. I can put it back onto Autopilot. There's no lines in the road. Looks like it's driving by the car in front of us. So let's see what it does here, because that bus is turning. And it just tried to turn into there and it got confused. Hit the brake. Car's coming. And God, that was close. No lines in the road. Here's an interesting situation. I've got Autopilot. Looks like we have to go around a truck. I'm curious if it will follow this. Nope, it looked like it was going to go right into that truck. One of the flaws with the current Autopilot is that at low speeds it doesn't yield for cars that are merging. In this example, I had to take over control. You can take over from Autopilot at any time by simply steering the car. There's a slight resistance when you steer against Autopilot. Pressing the brake pedal or the AP stick will also disable. Well, that's Autopilot explained. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, you can click on the top right here. And here's a shout out to my son's channel, The Nerd Writer. He makes some really good video essays. Take care.